Hey guys, it's the creative QiYi, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to solve the 4x4 using the YAO method. So just like the 3x3 has the CFOP method and the 5x5 has the reduction method, the 4x4 has the YAO method into solving it. So basically the YAO method takes the white and yellow phase first, and then it takes the 3 white edges, and then you have to solve the colored faces, and then finally the white edge, and then followed by the rest of the edges. Now before we get started, just a disclaimer that I'm gonna already guess you guys know how to solve the 3x3, so this video will not include a tutorial on F2L, OLL, or PLL, so just the phases and edges, that's it. The first step is to solving the white center. So as you can see, there are 2 rods, and basically you have to build each rod by itself and then connect the 2 just like this. So let's first scramble this. Okay, so now that we have it scrambled, our first goal is to build a white rod. So I see one corner right here and another corner right there. So what we can do is we can connect them just like this, and it builds a white rod. So next we need to look for another one. This one's already built. So now we need to connect the 2. So how you can do this is you can turn this toward the left and then bring this one up. So now we've built the white phase. So next we just have to do the yellow phase, and it's exactly the same method except you're looking for yellow corners to build yellow rods. I see one's already completed here, so now we just have to find another one. I see one corner here and one corner here, so we can connect these 2. You can turn it like this. So now it's not on the left side, it's on the right, and you can bring it up and connect them. So basically what I did is I see that this is on the top left and this is on the top right. If it went like this and you connected it, it would just connect in a diagonal. So you have to bring it to the same level. So this is on the top level. You have to bring this on the top level on the right, just like this. And then when you connect it, it builds the yellow rod. So now we can just connect the 2 rods, just like this. So now we have the yellow and white centers completed. However, we have a bit of a problem. White will always be opposite of yellow. So because the 4x4 has no centers, you will end up kind of mismatching where the colors will go. And to fix that is we can first take this rod up here just like this, turn it, and then bring the white back down because we broke it. And now we have one of the yellow rods opposite of the white area. So now we can bring this one over like this, connect it, but as you can see, we broke the white center. So how we can put this up here without breaking this is put the yellow rods on top of each other like this, and bring this one up first, rotated 180 degrees so it's empty on the left, and then bring this one back down. So now we have the yellow phase completed and the white phase completed. And this is our first step in the YAO method completed. So after we do this, our next step is to build the white edges, just like this, except these aren't the same color, but it will look like this if 2 of the white edges are connected. Our goal is to only build 3 of them, because after we do that, we want to go ahead and build the colored centers. So right now we just need to work on building the 3 white edges. So what we can do is we can look for white edges of the same color. So this is white and green, and this is also white and green. So we know that these 2 will be next to each other. So how we can get them together first before putting them is we want to get them on opposite sides, just like that. So the greens that need to be together are diagonal from each other. We need them to be directly opposite like this. So how we can do that is we can take this one, put it over here, bring it down, bring this one back, and then this one back up. So now they're directly opposite of each other. So now after we did that, we need this to be flipped and above it. So then when we connect it, pretend this is white, it will be the green and white edge connected. So basically we need this white to be here and then this green to be here. We need to flip it to be right on top like this. So when we connect it, it'll be the white edge connected. White and green edge connected just like this, except they'll both be green. So how we can do that is we have to have an algorithm, and it follows just like this. Just like that. And now as we can see, we flipped it, so now this red and green is on the bottom and white and green is now on the top. So now when we connect them like this, we built the white and green edge. So after we have done that, now we can connect the white and green edge to the white center just like this, and that will be our first white edge completed. So now we need to do the same to the other two colors that we'll be looking for. Now another thing you need to keep in mind when you're finding the white colored edges is you need to keep the color orientation in mind. So right now we've completed the green one. We'll know that blue will be on the opposite here. And depending on whether we do red or orange first, or orange and red first, if you hold the white side down, we'll know that to the right of green will always be orange, and to the left of green will always be red. So when we're building the next few edges, we know that orange will come here and that red will come here and blue will come there. So just keep in mind the color orientation when you're looking for the white edges. Okay, so the next edge I think we can do is the blue and white edge, because I see one blue and white edge here and then another blue and white edge here. So what we can do is we need to get them opposite of each other. So pretend this is a white and blue edge here, and this will be another white and blue edge. We need to get another one right here. So how we can do that is we can turn this like this, so it'll be on that side, but we'll mess up where the blue originally ended up. So what we can do is we can move it away, move this white and blue over there. That way we can bring this one back up, and the white and blue edges will be opposite of each other. So like before when we did the green, we don't need to do that algorithm because we already have them opposite of each other and already this one on top and this one on bottom. So how we can connect them is we can just do it like this, and then we know that the blue will go opposite of green, so just turn blue, so that when we connect the white and blue edge here, the blue will be opposite of green. Now we have two of the white face edges completed. Okay, so the final one we can do is red, because I see a white and red here and a white and red edge here and a white and red edge here. So we need to get them to be opposite of each other. So what we can do is we can first put this one down. Even though we're breaking this, we'll bring it back up when we take this over here, take that one over here, and just bring this one up. So fix that, and now the red and white edges are opposite of each other, and this one is already on top and this one is already on bottom, so we don't need to do the algorithm again. So we can just connect them like this, and then we know that blue will always come left of red in the color orientation, so take this one up so the empty space is left right of blue here. Put it down, and now we have 3 white edges completed and the color orientation is correct. So now we have completed the second step of Yao method, in which we connect 3 white edges to the white face. Okay, so the next step is not to build the last white edge, but to build the rest of the colored centers. Now it's the same step or idea as the white and yellow faces, where you have to build them in rods and connect the rods together, except here you have to be careful because when you move one face, one colored face, it will move the other. So what you have to do is you have to conserve the rods that you've already made so you don't break them when you're trying to connect them at the end. One thing I'd like to point out, this step is also tricky because when you're moving the edge to kind of fix the orientation of a colored face, you're gonna end up breaking the white edge we connected earlier. So that's why we have this empty slot right here. So whatever colored face you're working on, just make sure this slot is in that kind of side you're going to be turning. So how many times you turn, you're not going to break up the 3 white edges we connected earlier to the face. This is going to be like your work slot, I guess, your work empty slot. So when you're trying to fix the orientation of certain sides, you're not going to end up breaking the 3 edges. So the simple path you can take here into solving the colored phase is find rods that already have been completed, just like this one. You can start with the orange one, and once you've found one, just make sure you turn it vertically so when you're slicing it like this, you're not going to break the rod that was already completed. So this is orange, so we just have to look for 2 orange corners. I see this one and this one, they're both on the bottom row already, so we just have to get one of them to be on the opposite. I will choose this one, and we gotta move it here. As you can see, my empty slot is here, so if I turn it, I'm not breaking up the 3 edges we connected to the face. And now we can connect these 2. Just like this. Connect this to this now. We can turn it vertically. Notice how this is the empty slot. And then connect the orange phase. So now we have the orange phase completed. So now we just have to build this other phases the exact same way, except just make sure that you're not breaking up your other colored phases and you're not breaking up the white phase with the edges. Make sure you have your empty slot always on the side you're turning. So now I'm gonna go for the red. Now, I know that red is opposite of orange in the color orientation, so I need to get this red rod opposite right here. How I can do that is I can turn it up, but notice how I broke the orange face. So what I can do is I can turn it up, rotate it 180 degrees, and then bring the orange back connected. And because I turned the red on the other side, when turning this side down, it didn't break it. So now I have the red and orange opposite. I just need to find one more red rod and I have to build it. I see 2 red corners here. So they're both on the top row, so I can turn this one on the opposite side, just like this, empty slot, remember? So when I turn it, I'm not breaking anything. And bring this one up here, just like that. And turn it vertically and then connect it back. So now I have the red face and the orange face completed. I just need to go for the green and blue face. So after you have done 2 phases, it can be kind of tricky because one is like checkered like this, one is straight like this. So how you can correctly put them together is you can get them to be both 2 rods like this. This just takes some experimenting because you can just take the green all the way up here again and then turn it once and then bring it down. And once you have that, it got rid of the checkered, however it still didn't make the 2 rods. So what I do is, you see this green L right here and this blue dot, and here we have a green dot and blue L. What you can do is you can take the 2 dots facing inward each other. So what I mean by that is take this one up here, so this is facing inward on the bottom right, and this is facing inward on the top right. So now when you bring this green up here, just like that, and you turn it once to the left and bring it back down, you'll see 2 rods completed and then 2 rods completed. That's just something I experimented with and it's always worked for me, so you can follow that. Or if you have another way, you can follow that as well, but this is what I recommend. So now to connect these two rods together for the correct colors, turn them both vertical just like this, and put the blues on top of each other and then the greens on top of each other, and then make sure your empty slot is with this. Bring the blue all the way up here, turn it 180 degrees, and then bring it back. And as you can see, the blue phase is done. And now all of your colored phases are completed. So is your yellow and your white, as well as the white edges. So now the third step in the YAO method is now completed. Okay, so the next step is to finish up the white cross by building the last white edge. This can be kind of tricky because we don't want to break up any of the phases we made or any of the white edges we made. So what we can do is we have to bring the missing, this is going to be the white and orange edge, like this one and this one right here. We got to bring them opposite of each other, like this or like this. So I see this is already in its place. We just got to put this one either on this side or this side. How we can do that is we can bring it to the correct side first, this side, just like that. And we can just go like this and we put it in the correct position. However, we broke one of the white edges. So what we can do is we can put our slot over here instead. So no matter how much we turn, we don't break up the white edges we created earlier. So now we can bring this white and orange edge down here, just like that. And how we connect it is the same way, just like this. Even though we broke up the center, just put this on the top row just like that, and then you can fix it. Now we have the orange and white edge completed. The phases we fixed, the colored phases we fixed when we were building it, and we just need to put it in the correct spot right here. Just turn it 180 degrees. So now we have completed the white cross, and now we need to match up the white edges with the correct center. So this is blue, we need green, just turn it 180 degrees, and there we go. We completed the white cross on the 4x4. So now you have completed the fourth step in the YAO method. Next, the final step in the YAO method before F2L and OLL and PLL is building the colored edges, just like these. You have to build them. And so I'm gonna start out by picking this red and yellow edge. And I picked this one because the kind of orientation you want them to be in when you're kind of building them is one to be on the vertical edge like this, and one to be on the top row horizontally. So this red and yellow edges pair is going to be up here, right here, and you want it to be in this setup because how you connect it is basically you want one of them to be on the bottom. The vertical one, you want the edge to be on the bottom side. So how we can do that is put it up and then bring it back down, and it's on the bottom now. So now that we got it to be on the bottom row, we can take its pair up here, which goes like this, and we need to slice it just like this and put that pair's edge on the top part now right here. How we can do that is we can bring it to this side. So now when we put it in, it'll be on the top side. And now when we bring the slice back to fix the face, they have been connected. This is the step or the process you need to take for all of them, all of the edges. And it may be slow at first because you have to find all of the edge pairs correctly, but it'll get faster if you practice. So now I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna pick the orange and yellow pair, edge pair. I picked it because I see one is vertical on this side and one is on the top row. So like before, this with the red and yellow, initially this was on the top, but this is already on the bottom. We don't need to do that algorithm to take it on the bottom. We just need to slice, bring this edge right here, just like this, just like that, and then slice it back, and now we connected it. So now that we've built two colored edges just like this, the safe thing to do is put them on the top row just like this one, so that when you're building more edges, you're not accidentally breaking the ones you've built before. So just put them on the top row, just like that. So we have 3 edges completed. And how we want to execute the next edges is we want to do them all simultaneously. And I say that because we don't want to keep on putting them up, because we're going to run out of slots on the top row to put them in. As you can see, there's only 1 more, but we still need to build 4 more colored edges. So what we want to do is we want to build 3 colored edges simultaneously, and then the last 2 colored edges, there's a specific case that you will end up with. So how you can do that is you can slice in the beginning, and as you can see, this edge on the bottom is green and orange. So we know that the piece that needs to go here will be green and orange. We need to look for that on the top row. I see it right here. We need to bring it right here, just like that. And then that way when we slice, we connect it. But we don't want to slice back yet, because we want to build the rest of the edges. You see this is yellow and blue. Yellow and blue is up here. So we need to get this to be here now. You can do that just like this. So now when we slice it, we have put those 2 together. Now we can build 1 more. This is blue and red. The edge is right up here. Its pair is up here. So we need to bring it here. Just like that. So now when we slice back, we have built 3 edges simultaneously. And now we just need 2 more edges to go. So after we have completed those colored edges, we'll see that we have just 2 left. And we don't want to complete the last 2 edges simultaneously like we did before, because there's only 2 of them that need to be completed left, and we don't want to mess up all the other edges that we created before, especially the ones that are not on the top. So there's a special way to build the last 2 edges, and it follows an algorithm. First, you need to set it up correctly. So as you can see, they're on the same row. The red, green, blue, orange, they're on the same row. You want to get it in this setup, and you want to slice, then perform this algorithm. And when you slice back, as you can see, the edges have now been built. So now we have built the rest of the colored edges, and this has completed step 5 of the YOW method. Now this is technically the last step, because after this follows F2L and then OLL and PLL, and those you should have learned in 3x3. So that basically concludes the YOW method. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do F2L in fast motion and do OLL and PLL after that. So after completing the F2L, you will run into some cases of OLL in which there are no formulas to complete the yellow phase. And that's called OLL Parity. You just have to follow this one simple algorithm, and it will fix the parity, and it will give you an OLL case you might know. So how you can identify parity is you will see that this looks like the yellow cross OLL, which will look like this, except this part is missing, and as you can see, there's no OLL case in the 3x3 or any OLL case in fact that fixes this. So the parity algorithm I'll have on the bottom right here, and it looks like this. So after you have done parity, as you can see, this is a familiar OLL case, and now you can complete it using OLL. And now next is PLL. So now I just want to go over PLL parity. PLL parity is same thing as OLL parity. There's no PLL case that exists to normally execute the PLL. You just have to do the PLL parity algorithm. A PLL parity will look like this, in that this looks like the H perm, in which the red and orange faces are opposite in this format, and it will be green and blue in the same format, except as you can see, the green and blue are completely solved. So this is not a familiar PLL case that exists, so I'm just gonna execute the PLL parity, and it'll be down here. It looks like this. And as you can see, that fixed it. Usually you'll be given another PLL case, a familiar one after that, or it'll just solve it. In this case, it solved the entire cube. So this basically concludes the video on how to solve the 4x4 using the Yao method. The Yao method is not the only method used to solve the 4x4. There are others, but in my opinion, the Yao method is the easiest, so I recommend using it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, please subscribe and comment down below any other video ideas you have for my future content. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another video next week.